right, welcome back to Sunrise, and we are glad that you're with us. Did you know that pets can experience anxiety?
Really?
Yes, just like people. For example, if your dog gets a little too emotional every time you have to leave the house, that could be a sign of separation and anxiety. You don't believe it? Well, DMV veterinarian Dr. Patrick Craig is here to explain what causes this common issue in pets and how we can help them to feel more safe and secure.
You know what I want to quickly find out, how does it present? Because how am I able to, I know if when my wife leaves me, I have anxiety issues.
Yes.
Yeah, and
we
she knows.
Too. Yeah, man. Yeah. I see we start to get skittish.
Yes. But in animals.
So what we don't want to do is to separate, what happens to human beings and say, well, we are humans and dogs are dogs, so what happens to what will don't happen to them. Same thing will happen. So the same type of anxiety that you get, the same feeling, that intense emotional feeling that you get, your dog's gonna get that too. So what it is, it's not a disease, it's a condition. It's a behavioral condition, and it results in severe distress, severe anxiety. The humans, they may fall up in a corner and they may cry, they may not want to eat. They do all sorts of different things that is not really consistent with normal behavior. Same thing with dogs, they bark a lot, they try to scratch. If you leave them in a confined area, they try to scratch that out. You get that pacing from window to door or maybe from one room to another, trying to find the owner, to find the dog parent. So it's an emotional thing.
But I have to leave every day. And
yes.
So, just like with anything else, how do we help our dogs through these conditions? People go off to work for entire days. Most times dogs may be left alone.
Yes.
And that cannot be avoided. So what can we do?
So this does not happen to every dog, and you may not see this with every single dog, but you find that if there was an emotional thing that happened in the early days of the dog, for example, a dog that was rescued, a dog that was taken from the shelter. You have certain dog breeds, maybe the Labrador, those are bred, so they're genetically bred to be close to humans. You have those toy breeds that actually live with human beings in their house, they sleep on the bed. They're more attached. So, if you find that something happens, like we had Corona a few years ago, and, a lot of people were working from home, and then all of a sudden we had to go back into the office, and then, or maybe, somebody may separate, somebody dies or something like that. You may have that severe emotional condition where the dog was so much attached to one person, that person is not there anymore, and then you get all that problem happening.
That dog, they look sad on the TV right now, because I tell a lie. When I look at that dog, I say, no man, something is really happening there.
I don't know but perhaps you can answer this question, what pet parents can do to help.
Yeah, should we leave on the TV? I don't know, like something that they need a toy. What do they need?
Very good question. So, what if we suspect that the dog the dogs may have some form of anxiety problem, what we can do is first you really want to teach the dog to be alone. Even when you're at home, you want to maybe leave the dog in a separate room. Maybe if you want to leave them in their cage, lock them in their cage for a little bit, let them know that you're at home and it's safe for them to actually be there. You could leave a backdoor music on, TV, something that the dog, can associate with you being there. You could train yourself. So take up your keys, put on your coat, try to walk to the door, but just do not leave. So when you're leaving, when you actually grab your keys and your coat and you're actually going to leave, the dog can associate that with, hey, it's fine. My owner is going.
It happens every day.
It happens every day.
The owner comes back.
Yes.
I don't need to stress out about this.
But if it gets too severe where the dog start, maybe scratching too much, chewing on your furniture, try to damage everything in the house, hurt him or herself, you will have to seek professional help. So that would be your vet or a behaviorist.
I'm curious to know what that would look like, though.
Yes.
That's one of the warning signs.
Yes. So
Meaning what are some of the treatment options available beyond the training a dog? Is medication?
There are treatments available. So there are prescription medications that we can prescribe to your animals. So the dog would have to come to us, we diagnose that condition, and we can prescribe medications that can calm them down. There are certain medications out there also that can calm the nervous system, so the dog can be a little bit more at ease and calm when you're not there. So there are medications available. There's training. So there's and it's not a one size fits all. So in cooperation with us, the vets, and your behaviorists, it's a total treatment similar to what human beings will get. So medications are available.
So you're saying not only are we thinking of our own mental health wellness, now that of possibly our dogs.
So when the dog comes on with anxiety disorder, it affects you. It affects us.
It does,
And,
yes.
and then we may need treatment too.
Gee.
It affects us. It affects us. We go to work. We're there thinking about the dog. And, you know, I want to remind you that a dog, a cat, whatever pet you have, they're a family member. They're family members. So, you know, you just don't toss out the family member because they have a mental problem. We have to treat it. The same thing applies for the dog.
And I can imagine that it affects you in the sense as well too that they could become more disruptive or destructive or, you know, as you said, scratching through things, X, Y, Z. So you do want to handle it.
Trying to get out of the house, damage your very fancy house. You're going to have neighbors. The dogs are going to be very disruptive. They're going to be calling. You know, there's a lot of problems that can be associated
Got
with
it.
that.
Right now, it's not the dog that is a problem for me. You know, the four pick-me called me every time I leave. Don't want me to leave the house.
Was not trained for that.
No, sorry. Yes.
Not at all.
Thank you for being here this morning.
you.
Very
Very
interesting.
informative, yes.
Dr. Patrick Craig helping us decode separation anxiety in our pets. Who knew? We're almost at the 8 o'clock mark, so that means we'll be wrapping things up on the flip side. Don't get anxious. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Don't worry.
We'll be right back.
You see?